Here we are in the top right-hand corner of Titan's Causeway. It's our second round of 16 match today. In the top right, the blue Celestial player. He's cheeky, and he's pretty aggressive when he wants to be. This is Grimmy. And in the lower left-hand corner, his opponent, the red Infernal player. This is Sacsri. Now, I remember both of these players from StarCraft 2 specifically. So these are both very, very competent, well put together players for sure. And I know for a fact that Grimmy is quite the cheeky little player. And I think that game number 1 is going to be no different. Sacsri is a Brood War pro player. Very nice. I'm pretty sure I've seen his name in StarCraft 2 as well, but making his claim to fame, I think is really, really good. Now, this is kind of an interesting little play here. Grimmy trying to utilize the Sovereign's Watch at the speed camp to clear it out, but I don't think he was trying to get the money per se, or he wasn't trying to get the speed. He was trying to get the money. Because this is a creation chamber outside of the natural of the Infernal player. This is just, oh, Grimmy. Oh, Grimmy. You goofy man. Wait, hold on. Grimmy, don't you realize your natural's over here? This is where your base is at. Look at that cool prism. Oh, Grimmy just got confused, guys. I'm sure Grimmy's going to realize it here in a moment. And he's just going to be like, oh, wait, sorry, Sacsri. Can we remake? I just built in the wrong spot. My bad. Well, this is aggressive. Utilizing these Morph Core to deal damage. And then when they get low, he just turns them into a building. Perfect. No biggie. Ooh, okay, so you have a strike node already. Strike node's gonna out DPS the Shroud Stone? Well, that's a fun little tidbit of information. Oh my god, why is it so fast? Oh, he surged it? Okay, I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I feel like I knew Celestials, and I feel like I'm learning alongside all of you here at this point. So this strike node is being surged with luminescent surge, additional bonus attack speed, and it's a detector. Not to mention that all these power banks are going to hold down this position. These Argents are going to continually be topped up. They're going to be full damage all the way across. But this strike node, just it can't be touched. He cannot get his gaunts remotely close enough to deal damage to this strike node. So the strike node's going to be able to pick off the shrine at the natural here. These units continue to just reinforce. This is brutal. This is a brutal position for Grimmy to hold on to. Sacsri, I don't know what Sacsri can do. I mean, this is one of those, this is like a cannon rush. I mean, this is a cannon rush at this point. There is no tier 2 tech, so you can't even tap into a Shroud Stone manifestation. Yeah, you just have to tap out. GG is called, and Grimmy showcasing exactly why he is the aggressive Celestial player here in game number 1. In the lower left-hand corner of Broken Crown, one of the smallest maps in the pool, this is our red Infernal player. This is Sacsri. And in the top, in the top right, in the center of the map is the blue Celestial player. This is Grimmy. And this is exactly why you can't open Shrine first on this map. I fear that it won't matter. Oh, no. So Broken Crown is such a small map in the pool, and I think we saw this day number 1. If it's an RTS game and there are players, they will find the cheesiest builds. All right, so let's walk our way through this here. So clearly Grimmy is on the opposite side of the map. He is in the natural expand of the Infernal player. He's going to drop a collection array. Collection array is now going to open up Sovereign's Watch, which in a couple of patches previous is able to hit workers and buildings now. But you have to have the collection array seated on Illuminite mine. This is exactly what is happening. So now we are going to see that first Sovereign's Watch get dropped. That's going to be able to harass the units and the structures in the natural. Meanwhile, the Morph Cores are just going to fly into the main. This is brutal. A Morph Core rush is I mean, it's a way to play the game. You can, I mean, we can't be too upset about the way to play the game. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. There's no wrong way to play an RTS game. But I can imagine that Sacsri's got to be feeling a little frustrated here, because he did not open ridiculously like greedy in terms of economy. He immediately built an Iron Vault Conclave. I think it's possible maybe building it down there, like even just like a couple of seconds does make a difference in the end. So maybe trying to run them down to the natural is a bit of a problem, but that's tough. That's tough, but Grimmy does have to kind of juggle this. This isn't a complete win just yet. Not nearly as many buildings at this point, but there is a significant amount of position and damage that comes out of this collection array, and the Arc Ship is just going to continue to oversee everything. This is like the strongest middle manager that I've ever seen in my whole life. He's not doing anything. He's just chilling. He's just here. But the damage is going to be dealt either way. Now we do have a Shroud Stone that has been able to complete, so this this mineral line is able to stabilize here. Creation Chamber is actually going to go down as well. I think that's a good start to the path forward here for Sacsri, but Sacsri's just in a bad position. His production is down here in the natural, and this is exactly what I was worried about at the onset of this analysis. Is that bringing all of this down? Of course, you want this a little bit closer to the front of your base, so that way these units can spawn and they can rally a lot faster. But right now, that just opened up a very vulnerable position for Grimmy to try and attack into. So despite the fact that he doesn't have any creation chambers right now, he's going to eliminate the production of his opponent as well. But getting down a Shroud Stone is going to be a great pushback here by Sacsri. I'd almost love to see a Greater Shrine go down if Sacsri can get the resources to do so. It takes 100 Luminite and 100 Therium to make that happen, but it does open you up. I mean, he's got 57 Animus right now. That's a manifested Shroud Stone. That would push this back if he could find the resources to make it happen, and especially if this Conclave goes down, that is going to create a very difficult scenario for Sacsri to try and get into. Now, there is an additional creation chamber that's been able to finish up for Grimmy. He's going to grab a second one here as well. I'm thinking that Grimmy has done enough. He has the economy that he needs to sustain this. He has the Morph Cores that have been utilized. The final Conclave goes down, and Sacsri kind of has to throw his arms up and go, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't have a response here. There's no production. There's only these units on the map. And once these units get picked off, it's going to be lights out for Sacsri here in game number 2. I just don't think there's going to be enough. I mean, this link node will get picked off, but it wasn't even morphing into a strike node. This one is now going to try and be a strike node. But again, every single unit that gets picked off here, there is no replacement. Only now do we see another Iron Vault and Conclave go down. That was such a long wait to try and repopulate those production structures. And these structures do not build quickly. They do take a significant amount of time. So yeah, these Argents can kind of just dive forward, and any amount of damage they can put onto these infernal buildings is very, very difficult for Sacsri to try and recover from. And again, Grimmy having access to that natural expand, he's got a 2-base economy essentially. The rest of these units do get picked off. This was a decent hold attempt by Sacsri, but I fear it will not be enough. The Shroud Stone goes down at the Therium, and I think all of this starts to fall apart for the Infernal player. No access to Greater Shrine, no access to additional production, and the units are just going to come streaming out one by one at this point. There's too many Argents on the field, and I think Grimmy has found a way to close this game out. Just a few more Gaunts trying to stabilize the situation, but that's not going to be enough. GG is called, and Grimmy with another quick game here. Yeah, kind of an interesting thought experiment. One of the things that we were having a discussion about in the lobby for game number 3 was the Morph Core, because the Morph Core, its purpose, it does deal some damage, kind of like a mothership core from StarCraft 2. It shoots down, does a little bit of damage, very annoying. But it does create buildings at a very accelerated rate. So one of the things that we were hypothesizing was, what if the Morph Core takes damage, and then when it goes to build its building, whatever percent health it has, that's the health that it builds into that building. Kind of interesting. Just kind of an interesting thought experiment. Who knows if it would work or not? I'm not a game developer. All right, so map number 3 here. Sacsri going to try and find some sort of foothold. Now, he's been just relentlessly bullied by Grimmy here in the first 2 games of this series, and really hasn't had a chance to expand much past a first base, let alone his natural. But I think in this series, he's going to have at least a better shot at it. Now, Grimmy is going to be approaching here on the right-hand side with a Morph Core. It looks like he wants to try and take the Luminite mine here at this location. I mean, I don't hate that idea on principle, but he's already got so much. I mean, he's got a Luminite a collection array here. He's got one here. He's going to take a 4th one here. Holy cow. Grimmy's just going to be loaded with money. Now, what can Sacsri do to try and punish this at this point? And he is going to take the vision camp in the center of the map. The vision camp is visible here by Sacsri, so he knows that there are units of some kind up here on the upper right-hand corner. But I think the question now becomes, this is new. The question now becomes, is he going to be able to harass this effectively? He's going to get on top of it. We do get a Sovereign's Watch that goes down almost instantly, and these rocks are going to be broken down from the back side. Now, it was kind of cool. I don't think we've ever seen a health indicator on these rocks, at least in that capacity. So kind of a neat little quality of life upgrade, little visual upgrade. Love seeing all the different things that change and get added in to Stormgate. A big shout out to the developers for all the work that they're doing. But Sacsri's going to see what is coming here. He is going to see those Morph Cores by his expansion. Does he have? He still does not have tier 2, so it's only going to be Brutes and Gaunts at this point. No upgrades to be seen. I don't think we have a Ritual Chamber as well. Yeah, this is just going to be very, very difficult to try and deal. He is going to try and find a little damage on the opposite side of the map, but there really isn't that much back on this side, especially since the Argents have already been dealt with. These Morph Cores are continually more and more annoying. We have a creation chamber in the back door of Sacsri here. And not only has Sacsri not found any damage on the opposite side of the map, sure, this collection array gets damaged, but it's not going to matter. There's no more units there. All of these Argents have cleaned up any aggression on the opposite side of the map. Finally, we do see one of those Morph Cores going down. A little bit of vision being provided by the Hexen and the Skull of Sheta, but that Morph Core now does find a little bit of retreat until the final Skull takes it out. But what is that going to be worth if the Argents just knock on the back door? And they might actually just attack on both sides. I mean, you could just run up this ramp as well and harass this meat farm. That health indicator's been there? I believe you. I said I've never seen it. So very, very cool. Yeah, I think this is just going to be an overwhelming push here. Oh, we do finally have a Shroudstone manifestation here. So we do get a tier 2 push and a little bit of a bump of adrenaline, but that Shroudstone allowed to stand with 27 health. There's just additional power banks going down here as they do try to keep these Argents topped up. We don't have the same type of position that we did in game number 2 where all of the production is exposed. So now that's in a much better place. Sacsri able to reinforce with his production structures as well. He's got a little bit of money. He doesn't have a whole lot of units sitting on these Luminite mines though, and that's going to cause an infinitely growing problem here if he's not able to stabilize this situation, because these Argents are just so good and they're so tanky to hold this choke point. And now Grimmy trying to get to the high ground as well to utilize these power banks on the what used to be the health camp location. Now they're just prime locations to drop some energy onto these Argents. These Argents will continually fire at their full damage potential. Another Morph Core trying to provide a little bit of damage coverage as well. He does lose that, so that is a bit of an unfortunate play for Grimmy, but he's got bigger goals in mind. He wants to eliminate this entire army. He wants to move himself to the round of 8, and I think he absolutely will do that. Even with these Argents running low on energy, they still have enough DPS in their large numbers to annihilate this army. 74 to 28. There's so much mining that is happening for the Celestial player. Sacsri is just going to get bullied into a corner here. He's going to lose his natural, and once his natural falls, I just don't think there's a single way that Sacsri can find a victory path in this game. Rescuing that Morph Core is going to be enough. GG is called. Sacsri did his best, but Grimmy showcasing just how aggressive he can be takes the 3-0 victory, and he moves on to the round of 8.